The Evergreen Media Network Studio, powered by Scott Tree Services.
Treasure Coast Connector, connecting residents and businesses of the Treasure Coast. And here's your host, Ellen Contreras.
Well, welcome to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras. Treasure Coast Connector is the talk show, an online community where we put a spotlight on interesting local businesses and resources, then connect them to you, the consumers in the community. Everyone has an interesting backstory of why they do what they do. And when we learn about what's happening in our own backyard and support local businesses, it strengthens our local economy. For details on the show, links to discounts, promos, past interviews, check out www.tcconnector.com. So while many of us enjoy the summer, our vacations, and the beach, a lot of us Floridians are keeping an eye on what's happening with the hurricanes. And with so many residents moving into the area, I thought this was the perfect time to have two experts come back onto the show to share some great information. So joining me in the studio today are Bob and Amy Thornton of O'Donnell Impact Windows and Storm Protection, and they have lots of great advice for us to navigate the hurricane season. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much, Ellen.
Yeah, I got through that. First of all, that light is blinding me, Cindy. But, it's okay. I'm just not going to look at that light now. I'm going to look at you guys.
Okay. Well, you look great, so
thank you, as do you. I got through that by calling you Amy and Bob Thornton of O'Donnell Impact.
Yes.
Okay, very good. And before we talk about this, wonderful company and how you help protect people's homes, what made you want to get into this industry and, start this business?
I could address that one. Once I got out of the military, I started in construction, and I had a very Forrest Gump life. I've started several businesses and moved far away from construction. I moved down to Florida in 2005, and my barber said, "What do you do anyway?" And I said, "I don't really do anything." And he said, "Well, I'm having trouble at my condo. All these contractors keep coming in and taking money and leaving." So I said, "I don't even know how to charge you at this stage because it's been so long, but I'll work for a daily rate. And the first day you come home from work and your wife at night and you don't feel I've earned my rate, then you'll still be my barber and you can fire me." Okay. And I gutted his entire condo room by room and redid it. And it was so healing for me, such a good feeling. Instead of touching a key and moving money from one place to another, a real estate sale, I could actually look and say, I built that. Yeah. And it reignited that fire in me, very healing. And I'm in Florida. They get hurricanes.
Yeah, we get a couple.
I'm from Connecticut. I don't know anything about hurricanes, but I said, everybody needs hurricane protection. And that's what got me started. And then I met my partners, Mike and Rachel. I was already working. And this young couple, the young, better looking version of me, they were working in a little condo, and I was working at the condo next door. And I watched this kid work all day, and he was absolutely incredible. And went up and started talking to him, and the rest is history. We ended up partnering up, and every year has been a blessing. It's been incredible. So we're able to help our community, and our community enables us to go out and give back to the community.
Oh, yeah. And we are definitely going to talk about that in the second half because you have a lot of passion projects. But we do have a lot of people ever since COVID. I don't know how they found out about us, but they keep coming. They're moving to the Treasure Coast in droves. Okay. And that's fine. That's fine. Okay. So the hurricane season, I want you to tell everybody, when does it start and when does it end? And for people that are new to the area, what are some tips that you can give them to prepare?
I'll take this one.
Yeah.
So on paper, it starts on June 1st. I don't like that answer because I feel as though it scares people. Really, it is at its peak closer to the end of the summer. It's good to be prepared, but not to panic. It on paper also ends in November, at the end of November. So the times to be really extra prepared are definitely September, October, and in November.
Mm-hmm.
What I tell people is prepare with items that you enjoy, canned goods.
Whiskey. Ooh, did that just pop out of my mouth? I'm just kidding.
Yes, our cart has been filled with beer on many a year that doesn't even make it into the season.
Okay.
But what's good is I tell people to look at things that they buy that they like that they can also pay for it and bless. So don't look at it as you're stocking up on things to waste. Look at it as I'm going to stock up. And then at the end of hurricane season, if I can't use this, I'm going to bless the Humane Society with extra dog food. I'm going to bless the shelters, House of Hope in Martin County, just things so you can prepare, keep your family safe, don't go overboard, but look at it as a yearly and annual way to know if you don't use it, we won't have a hurricane. Thank you, Lord. And then you can bless people with the extra.
I love that idea because I do buy things, non-perishables that we would normally eat, but sometimes I panic buy.
Yes.
And instead of buying maybe $100 of food supplies, I'll buy $500.
Yes.
And okay, maybe not that much, but my husband will go, Elena, stop is enough. Right?
Yes.
And he has threatened to take away my debit card and my car keys.
Yes.
And then I'm like a little ferret hiding all the stuff. And then I tell him we're going to use it, but he watches the show and he's going to say that you are the smartest lady. That's a really nice thing
and
to
also,
say.
Your neighbors are over preparing. Your friends are over preparing. So if you happen to be the person who under prepares, you're covered.
Yeah.
We will cover each other. People happen to get very, very helpful when these situations arise.
Yeah.
So people are extra generous usually after the initial rush at Publix. They become very generous, very helpful. People have parties, they invite one another. So we band together when these situations arise. So people coming down that are fearful, you will really see the good side of humans.
Yeah.
The majority of the time,
Make
if
friends
you need
with
help.
your neighbor and have a hurricane party. But O'Donnell, you also put for the company, you have put together a lovely guide.
Yes, we do. This is a new hurricane preparation guide that we have that includes emergency numbers for Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River County, as well as some handy dandy videos on how to maintain and close your shutters, your windows to keep them nice and clean and not spray heavy water and break any seals, but just a way for people to feel comfortable. It's a great resource. And that's what we really try to strive to be a resource for people.
Yep, absolutely. So now we have had, a while back, in the early days of storm protection, what did we have? Tape that we taped to the windows.
Yes.
Remember that? The X's.
Oh, yes. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do that. Okay. And then, of course, there was plywood. Not a good idea.
It's not a good idea.
But even there were, for legitimate storm protection coverings, there were some good, applications of it.
Absolutely.
But technology has improved. So can you talk a little bit about some of the neat things that, we have to make things easier to cover our windows, like some of the new technology that you have adopted?
Impact windows and doors and sliders have made a huge difference. And the technology continues to improve. They're constantly working on it. PGT is our major manufacturer, and they have a lab where Dean is over there. Dean's a good guy. He's coming up with new ways. And if we're out in the field and we think of something, say they could do this different, we can call over there and he'll go into his mad scientist mode and start working on it. So the windows and doors, it's not only the safety of a storm, it's the safety from intruders. There's a car wash down in Hobe Sound, Island Auto Spa, and he has a doorbell camera from a Sunday, 10 minutes, a guy who had just got out of prison beat on his entry door for 10 minutes. And he was able to break the glass, but he wasn't able to get through it.
Ooh.
And on a good note, he is back in jail.
Yeah, because with that time frame, this guy's working on getting in, but the cops are on their way thanks to the doorbell camera.
Exactly.
And then the other thing is the energy efficiency.
Okay.
It's really incredible. When people say the windows and doors will pay for themselves, they truly will over time. Our own utility bill, we just have a little 3-2 ranch, when we finally got our stuff done, which took a long time because it was my house, but when we finally got everything done, my cooling bill dropped $150 a month.
Wow.
So every month, that's, it's been a couple of years now.
My favorite is the sound reduction. I may take a lot of naps on the weekends, and just the noise reduction. We live by train tracks, which many people do, and the bright lines and freight trains can be a concern.
Yeah.
But the impact windows cut down on the noise tremendously. So barking dogs, lawnmowers, storms at night with thunder, which happens a lot in the summer. We'll sleep right through it.
I know, yeah. And then you wake up, sometimes you wake up scared, and then you realize, oh, well, it's thunder, so then you're okay. But that initial jolt awake is like, why was I jolted awake?
Exactly. That usually doesn't happen.
Okay.
So they're nap-friendly windows.
Okay. So we're going to get more into the services that you provide in the second half. And before we cut to commercial breaks, Cindy didn't even have to tell me to do it. I want people to know where you are located, phone numbers, your contact information, all that you want to share with the world. We have over 20,000 people listening right now.
Awesome.
We have 2 locations. One of them is on US 1 on the Hobe Sound Stewart line. It's 6400 Southeast Federal Highway. And then we have the whole plaza, which is on the Jensen Beach Stewart line, and that's 1740 Northwest Federal Highway. The best number to get us is 772-408-0200. We have a great website set up. Oh, and we are going to open up a brick and mortar here in Vero. We're excited to be moving up here to work with you.
Very nice.
Yes.
Do you know what we love to do here in Vero Beach?
What's that?
We love to have like the grand opening parties.
Yes.
I don't know if you know this, but Vero Beach, we like our parties and we like to support businesses.
Good to know.
We'll talk about that on the break.
Okay. Okay, great.
I'm excited for you guys for that, actually, all kidding aside.
We are so excited to be in Vero. It
and
is a
the
special
community's
place.
been so welcoming. We've had invitations to go into some of the networking groups, and everyone's really been stand up.
Yeah. I'll connect you with some more. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so very good. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break. We have a lot more to discuss about O'Donnell Impact Windows and Storm Protection. We'll be right back.
Good job. You're so pleasant.
I know, she's great.
Print advertising isn't dead, it's as strong as ever, especially in 32963. It's Mario from 32963. Reach every single home and business on the island with me, Mario, in 32963. Find me on Facebook, Mario 32963.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats and chairs in all the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Riverside, Universal, Four Seasons, Braxton Color, and Capri. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need, including a gallery of Berlin Gardens and Bollywood. We specialize in fire pits, outdoor rugs, umbrellas, and replacement cushions. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Family owned and operated since 1991. Don't forget to visit our outlet store directly across the street, filled with lots of name brand closeouts and sale items. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Have a sunshine day.
Sturgis Lumber is the most trusted hardware store in Indian River County, and it's so much more than just lumber. Sturgis stocks stainless steel products such as screws, bolts, and threaded rods, power tools, hand tools, and saw blades, construction supplies like caulking and cement mix, all kinds of painting supplies, even propane refills and tanks, and plumbing and electrical parts. Stop by Sturgis Lumber at 4645 US 1 in Vero Beach. True value quality with a hometown smile. Sturgis Lumber and Hardware.
Supper, dinner, whatever you call it, Marsh Landing has perfected it. Come have a taste of what we've been making from scratch. Big heaping portions of Old Florida specialties, from frog legs to catfish, steaks, and homemade dessert. Enjoy supper or dinner at Marsh Landing Restaurant in Fellsmere.
Welcome back to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras, and I've been chatting with Bob and Amy Thornton of O'Donnell Impact Windows and Storm Protection. And we had some great, information about the storms and how to prepare. But now I'd like to talk about the actual products that you install. And we're going to talk about like what the customer experience is like after, but let's just talk about what you actually install.
Well, our entry level to get the easiest protection on your house that you would be able to close up yourself if your husband wasn't home.
Please, thank you for that.
Accordion shutters, we build them ourselves. They're heavy duty. You can beat on them with a ball bat. You're not going to get through them. So the house is safe once they're locked up. They have 4 locking rods, lock into the frame top and bottom.
They also come in 4 different colors, so they can be also an attractive aesthetic with your home. So
and get HOA approval.
Very good.
We've worked in every neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then there's the impact windows and doors themselves. They're beautiful. We have white frames. We have bronze frames. Again, we can fit in with any HOA.
Yeah.
And the experience, once we're done, it is surgery, what we're doing. But we truly have the best crews, and I'm not just saying that. These guys have been with us. Every crew has a crew chief. That crew chief is the boss. He had to work his way to be the boss through promotion. And then every crew has a project manager who the crew chief reports to. So I come in the morning, I'm your crew chief, you're going to know that. And then Amy comes in later on during the day and just says, I want to introduce myself. I'm your project manager. If anything comes up, so they can answer any questions, walk you around after the job is complete, answer any questions you may have. We have an incredible service department. So if you see something or something's wrong or you're not sure, you pick up the phone and call, and we have our service guys go out and they do phenomenal work. So our whole thing is, it doesn't matter what you're selling and servicing, because at the end of the day, PGT window is a PGT window. But the one thing that we can control is your experience. People remember how you made them feel long after they've forgotten what it is that you said. And my whole team really works on it from the start to the finish, from the first phone call in, when Miss Jackie or whomever answers the phone, we want it to be a pleasant experience. And then a sales consultant gets hold of you. We don't have salesmen. They're going to come out and they're going to educate you to the product. They're going to get a measure from your house and do a sketch and give you line item by line item, because not everyone has a magic checkbook.
Yeah.
We would all like a magic checkbook.
Yeah.
But a lot of jobs we do piecemeal, we do it in parts or segments. And after that, you're going to hear, we have our own permitting department. We pull a permit on every job, and we take care of all of that. You're going to hear from Amy, not this Amy.
Not this Amy, the fantastic Amy, Amy W. She's
Amy
amazing.
W, little mighty mouse, and she does all of our scheduling. And you'll hear from her to say, you're on the schedule. Does this day work for you? And then the crew shows up and they do their job. And when we leave, all we want is a nice referral and a nice rating on our.
That's really great. And I like what you said early on at the beginning of the show, that you felt when you were working, with construction on your own, that you wanted to promise, like, I'm going to come here on this day and do this job. And that's what you did, right? And it was important because we know of so many other people in skilled trades of all types. I will be there, and then they're not. And oh my gosh, it's very stressful. So it's nice to know that you carried that through, you and your partners, that's what you don't want people to have to deal with your company, which is why
lack of communication. And no offense, Floridians, but Florida has a reputation. And when I first started working here, and I would say, I'll be at your house Monday morning at 8 a.m., and I rang your doorbell, people would open the door and go, what are you doing here? And I'd say, oh, I'm sorry, I had you down on my calendar. They say, no, you're in Florida. No one shows up when they say. Even my sales guys, if they say that they're going to be at your house at 3, but their 2 o'clock appointment, they're going to stay with their person as short or as long as that person wants. They're going to get in their car and they're going to call you and say, I'm so sorry, my appointment ran. It looks like I'm going to be 10 minutes late. And people are amazed. But it's those touches that we grew up with that are so important.
Our slogan is, our family protecting your family, and we really take that serious. We don't do everything. We don't install everything. What we do is products, PGT, impact products that we know, we specialize in, so that way we can provide the best service for what we do. We want to make sure that our people feel like they're getting the best of the best. The PGT windows are manufactured right here in Florida. The accordion shutters are manufactured right in our location here.
Wow.
We want to make sure that we can provide everything to make them comfortable so they understand. So many people are coming down from the north where there aren't many hurricanes. We are a resource. We are a place where we will treat them like we would treat our family.
Yeah, I like that, which leads me to, because I want to make sure we have enough time, we can always circle back, but because you treat people like your own family, you are also working hard not only on your business, but your passion projects of giving back to the community. And it is on your website, and I see it on social media. So what are some of the nonprofits that you have been enjoying working with?
Oh, there's so many.
One of them in particular is Family Promise of Martin County. We try to indirectly work with them a lot because there are a lot of local people who live here who work with us, the cornerstone employees, the nurses, the teachers, the construction workers who almost can't even afford to live here. And Family Promise is a local agency that helps bridge the gap. So those people who are working hard, who can barely afford to make ends meet. And there's such a large population of these people, these children, these adults who work every day and work so hard, and they are just missing out on a lot of different basic needs that we enjoy. And that carries over to what Bob does quite a lot. He works a lot with the Police Athletic League in Martin County, with a lot of the young kids who, again, working class families, and maybe they're having trouble in school, or maybe they're just feeling underappreciated or struggling. And Bob, if you want to talk a little bit about what PAL does.
Between 12 and 18 years old, boys and girls, and it's a 16-week continuous program. We start on lesson 1, and it goes for 16 weeks. And so that you may come in as a new student on week number 5. So you're going to be there for 16 weeks and finish. But it's really good. It's a lot of the kids have been in some kind of trouble, and the coaches were volunteers that are there. We're just there to shake and wake them, to let them know that there is a different life. And you know, I was in trouble when I was a kid, and I had people that recognized me and said, "We see something in you." So that's why we give it back. I teach inspirational speaking to the Boys and Girls Club when they have their Youth of the Year. I love that.
And then
Project Lift.
Oh yeah, I've
in
heard
Palm
really
City,
good things.
they help at-risk teens, kids, teens and young adults who have substance abuse issues. They help them to acquire a skilled trade so they can empower themselves to go out in the world
and earn a good living.
Absolutely.
And then the Traveling Youth, I'm on the board of directors. A young woman that I started mentoring when she was 19 is now 29, has her own business, and she started this not-for-profit. We take kids that are underprivileged, students, college students, and we send them for a month to Prague, and they go to Italy, France, Germany.
They take a semester. They take a semester over there.
And it really, because it takes them out of the, if you're living in Fort Pierce and you're in this really tough environment, it lets them see what's really out there in the world.
Opens up to them. So what I want to do, because we're almost out of time, is because we're talking about these passion projects, it's listed on your website. What is your web address?
www.o'donnellstormprotection.com. And our Instagram and Facebook handle are at o'donnellstormprotection.com.
Okay, well, very good. So I first thank you both for
Thank you so
being
for having
here.
us, Ellen.
Perfect timing. And if you don't get your house protected by them, you're just silly, because they're going to do what they say when they say. And that's what I have to say. My name is Ellen Contreras, host of Treasure Coast Connector. I hope everyone has a safe, productive, wonderful week. And until next week, I miss you already.